All right, so I am back with another Keep a chart breakdown of another unusual chart that I came across. Okay. And I think it's really valuable to share this stuff because there's so many little data points that to the untrained eye, it would be confusing or not look right compared to a normal chart, but it's just data. And the more and more you get comfortable with that in the charts, you have a major competitive advantage. So let me walk you through this product. We're going to go through the 3 month, the year, and the entirety of this product. Just so you know, this product would cost me about 70 bucks, okay? So it's a high ticket item, but I'm familiar with the brand. I like high ticket items, and I've sold other variations of it. And when I say variations, it's actually not part of a variation, like as far as the Keepa and Amazon listing goes, but there's other varieties of this product, right? So at 70 bucks, if you look at the recent buy box, $92, absolutely not. I need this to be at like 120 minimum to make like 30 bucks, let's say, okay? Or even a little bit less. And prior to that, so I know it sold for 92 because there was a seller here, buy box, it fell off. I know it sold here at when Amazon sold it, although the buy box was $80, so Amazon wasn't winning the buy box, it went from two sellers to one seller, so it sold there. Now, prior to that, it was all the way up at 260. Okay, that's a huge spike, right? Here's a seller count dip here, or sales rank dip. Here's one, here's one. Could that seller have sold them? Potentially, but I take it with a grain of salt. I will say when the buy box was here at 205, so the buy box got captured at 205, went from two sellers to one, which tells me that they sold it there. When I look at it here, same thing. It sold for 201 right here and then fell off. So I'm not saying this is flying by any means, but at 200 bucks, the buy box is there. But keep in mind, at this point, I'm evaluating this. I'm saying, okay, it's not flying. The buy box does get captured at 200. It doesn't look like crazy movement, but for me, I only need it to be like 120. 150, I've sold the other variations around and they move decently. So for me, if I know it's sold at 200, I think I'm willing to try it at 150, right? Undercut that, get the buy box, be the only seller, and make, 50 bucks, 40 bucks on $70 spend with no competition. By the way, this has 12 reviews, so it's definitely sold. And this is why you go out to the whole history on this next chart. Look how different this looks than what we just looked at, right? Just visually. So much seller count movement, right? It's been around for 6 years. Buy box has been from 93 to 119 to 136. So what I like to do is, I've mentioned this before, I'm just going to hover over like maybe 2022 to about right here. Okay, so we can just look at a section that was relatively recent in time. This seller count movement went from 9 down to 4. I mean, here 9 to 5, up, down, up, down, up, down. What that tells me is people that have stock are selling out of their stock. Now, they might only have one piece of stock because it's a high ticket item, but it's still selling, like clearly selling. Also, the buy box here, to the eye test, very steady around that $100 point. 136 here. I also like to look at, yes, the buy box was captured, but was there actually seller count movement, meaning they're actually selling it at that price? And they absolutely are. Okay. And then you can see up here is when it started to get suppressed around 179, 179, etc. So again, going back to my theory, um, could the buy box got captured at 200? I wouldn't bank on that, right? But here it was selling very well at 135. My goal would be to sell it at 150 and try to increase the velocity a little bit. So for me, absolutely, I'm buying 2 to 3 of these. I might do FBM on one to try to get some instant feedback and trying to go for 150. And also, I always like to weigh my worst case scenario. If I sell it for the lowest it's ever typically sold for, right? Which is like 80 bucks here, I might lose $10, but my upside is making 40 or 50, right? And I might have my hands on a hidden gem. Because again, you come back to the 3 month, this is a very underwhelming chart. Not a lot of great information. Or this is the year chart, right? So, and here's the 3 month, right? Almost no information. So I would be the only seller on a brand that I know on a high ticket item, which creates a moat. And if you span out to the history, you can see when priced accordingly and in stock, it does sell. I'm definitely buying this product. The risk reward is there, and I'm hoping to sell it for 150 bucks. And if it goes fast, maybe I creep that up. And if it goes slow, I've got $50 of dropping cushion before I even just break even, which I'll play that game all day long. So just want to keep sharing these Keepa charts and my mentality and these breakdowns. So I'm Jonathan, Duke does Amazon. Talk to you guys soon. Take care.